You know, those moments where, like, things might not be going at a pace or at a rate that you wish they would. But for some reason, you just feel like, yo, like you can just see God in everything that's going on in your life. Even the things that might not be the best, but you can just see God moving. You can see God working. And it makes me emotional literally all the time when I think about God because I'm just like, yo, there's certain things that I wasn't supposed to survive that I thought I would never survive. But God was just like, my child, the same thing that's making you struggle, the same thing that's making you feel overwhelmed, depressed, the same thing that's making you feel like you just want to die, the same thing I'll use in your life and in your future, in my plans for you.
How often do we stop dreaming because of life's ups and downs? Many a times we shy away from building resolutions that will drive hope into a new year because we carry the fear that it's simply not possible. When you were younger, the possibilities of what you wanted to be when you grew up was so easy, effortlessly so. When I grow up, I want to be a doctor, a nurse, an astronaut. I want to be a superhero, to build the first flying car. I want to be a cartoon. That was my younger brother's wish. Anyways, the list goes on. What happened to that belief that allowed your mind to see beyond the scope of reality? Other people's projections, fears, opinions, forced down or spoken alongside your dreams. Who were you before the world touched you? To answer that question, I'll need you to pick up your pen and set down the vision. Write it down. Be as delusional as it gets. There is no shame here. I want you to take charge of your dreams. I want you to believe you can.
I'm so excited. Let me just start. Finally, even if it's slow, getting out of my shell by being able to start and hold conversation with strangers while expressing myself. Very interesting because anyone that knows me knows that I'm an introvert, sometimes or most times shy. But if you approach me, I'm now able to hold conversations, and a lot of people are shocked when they find out that this person is actually talkative and interesting and has a lot of things to say. For the longest time, I couldn't hold conversations. I couldn't start conversations. Okay, it's not that I couldn't hold conversations. I think I could. I just couldn't start conversations with like anybody or like random people. So I'm proud of myself for that. Second one, I became an aunt to an adorable nephew. He's so cute, guys. He's so precious and so tiny. And oh, it just makes me so happy that like I'm an aunt. And it's just one of the greatest gifts that 2022 gave to me. And of course, my sister and her family, as well as our family. I wrote down my first short film idea. So I have a lot of passions, right? And most of them are centered around the arts. So in 2022, I just one of the things that I discovered about myself is that I love film, and the idea of creating one in the future just came up in my mind, and it's something that I will definitely do. And just studying YouTube made me realize how much I love filming memories, being in front of the camera. And of course, I haven't been really very consistent in 2022. I apologize for that. I kind of lost track as to why I started YouTube at the beginning, which was to initially just have fun and just explore this avenue, explore this social media platform. And for some time, it just felt like work. It felt like I was doing YouTube. I started doing YouTube for the wrong reasons instead of reminding myself of why I started this. In a few years, I am going to direct and produce my own short film. Maybe films in general. That's another aspect of me that I found out. Actively being aware and working on my destructive behaviors. 2022 was basically my shadow work year. A lot of things that I experienced or went through was basically to build me to be a better person, for me to understand myself, for me to build myself, for me to recognize my toxic traits imposed on myself and as well as others. And I'm very proud of myself for recognizing a lot of these things. Of course, it's still taking some work to work on some things. It'll take a while, but just choosing to be a better person was the best thing I did this year. Coming into acceptance in a good way that my mind is more tender than most others. I am I wouldn't say a very sensitive person. I am in tune with my emotions. I am very aware of how I respond to a lot of things, and I kind of came into acceptance that my mind is more tender. I don't like using fragile because I don't believe I'm fragile. My mind is more tender than most others. It took a really long time for me to come into acceptance that my mental health is something that will always have its ups and downs, will always have its turmoils or breakdowns or whatnot. And I just came into this acceptance, and I allowed myself to be, and in that my mind has thrived. I've become a better person in taking care of myself in the days when I don't feel my best, even in the days when I feel my best. So I think the challenge for me was coming into acceptance with this reality, but also worrying about, not necessarily worrying, but the people around me not necessarily coming into acceptance into this reality as I have. So made an artwork for a former classmate who goes to UCT. So I think it was around August, October. I don't remember, but a former classmate of mine, through my best friend, contacted me and asked for me to create an artwork for an assignment or project or presentation that we're doing. And I actually did. It was very challenging. It was a challenge for me, completely out of my comfort zone, but it was really something that it was a really good thing for me, because taking myself out of my comfort zone in terms of drawing and creating art, it just made me feel alive. I was very, very happy with the results. I was very, very happy with the results, because beyond the topic or kind of the ideas that she gave me, I kind of created a whole different story of which she was very impressed by, and she said that she would definitely reference everything, the details that I put into it, and maybe one day I will show it to you guys. But because it's like a school thing and it belongs to someone else, even though I drew it, I think that it would be wiser not to at the moment or for now. Reading 25 books so far, 13 November 2022, in 2022. So I wrote this on the 13th of November, and I had made a resolution that I wanted to read 50 books in 2022, but because of the time frame, because of school, and sometimes just basically being lazy, I ended up reading 25 books at the time, but now I am at 27 books. This video was recorded on the 31st of December, New Year's Eve, so I'm at 27 books. Discovering new music, French music specifically. Music, I realized that I really love music. I love music. I love discovering new artists, especially music that is not very mainstream, music that is kind of, I don't want to say underground artists like vibe, but I do listen to mainstream music, but I love discovering music that is very odd, if I can say, or someone else might find it odd that I'm researching French music, for example, for a person who doesn't speak French. Whenever I study, I actually listen to French music, Parisian music specifically. I don't know, it just works. Like, I'm able to study, everything is able to get in, and I'm not even lying, I'm not even trying to sing special or anything, but it really does work. Breaking the walls of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage comes in different ways. For me, I think the most significant self-sabotage was imposter syndrome. Praying for things, and then when they come into fruition, you're just like, no, I'm not ready. I don't feel adequate. I don't feel good enough for this. I don't feel prepared for this. That has been me for the longest time. And I just took the conscious decision. This is one of the destructive behaviors that I talked about earlier. I just took the conscious decision to be like, I don't want to self-sabotage myself anymore. If an opportunity comes into my life, and if it's something that I really prayed about, and I consulted God so many times, and I'd spent hours and hours thinking about this, maybe daydreaming about it sometimes. I don't know. I do daydream, and I'm very delusional when it comes to my dreams. I believe beyond and far. Then self-sabotage in that kind of mindset it won't work. Went on a date with my mom with just the two of us, something that hasn't happened in a long time. I'm very happy about this because most of the time when I'm with my mom, my brother is also there, or there are other people there. So having to spend time, just me and her, it really made me happy, and it was so refreshing. And I realized that it's something that I really need to do more. And I'm hoping to do it more in 2023, not only in 2023, but in life in general. I think just spending time with your loved ones, especially your parents, in a setting that is outside of seeing them as your parental figure, you get to learn a lot about what type of people they are, what they like, and them as individuals. Because outside of our parents being our parents, they're also human beings. I was honest about my feelings to my dad. Damn. It's funny because the parent cards are coming right after each other. There's a lot of things that I was harboring when it came to my relationship with my father. So really I don't want to dive deep into that because I still feel like it's something that's still being figured out and something that's growing. But 2022 has really improved greatly my relationship between my dad and I. And I really owe it to God, because if I didn't consult God about this, then I feel like things would still have been the same, and there still wouldn't have been any difference in how things are now. Things have changed drastically in the sense that I'm actually able to have a conversation with my dad. I'm able to do a lot of things around him and with him. A lot of things I've learned about my dad. And I'm really grateful to God to still have my parents here. And this is really truly one of the most precious things that I truly believe I experienced in the year 2022. Good. Getting my first tattoo! Yeah! This tattoo makes me happy. It really does make me happy. And there are more coming. I feel like, not that I feel like, my left arm is going to be dedicated to tattoos. and I'm very excited about this. I already have so many plans. My notes app is filled with so many tattoo placements and ideas. So this is not the last one. I was so afraid, guys. I had to ask so many people if it's a good idea, even if it was something that I wanted to do. The process of just booking the tattoo, actually doing it, and then having to tell my parents that, okay, so there's this issue. I have a tattoo, so don't kill me. So I was, I was so afraid. You know that fear you have when you really want to do something, and then you just start being really anxious and afraid and questioning yourself, questioning this decision. I was questioning myself to the point that I literally had to, I think I probably talked to all of my friends about this, and I was like, I'm really afraid. Should I stop this? Is this a bad decision? Should I go through with this and stuff? It was so much. I don't know how to describe it. That is not all the things that I've experienced in 2022. Good things I've experienced in 2022. The jar is still full, but just to make this video more precise and more intimate and not too long, I will just end at the things that I've already read. And I hope you realize that the art of creating New Year resolutions is not lost. You can create anything you put your mind to. There's so much power in writing things down, and I don't think people realize how powerful it is to just allow yourself to really just dream. Imagine the life you've always wanted. I pray that everything you imagine for yourself for the year 2023 comes into fruition. I pray that God really shows you that there is so much beyond your comfort zone. There is so much beyond the place where you're just used to things being the way they are. And to remember that you cannot attain everything that you want to attain, or attain things beyond the things that you even wanted to attain at a stage or place where you're comfortable and everything is just smooth sailing, everything is fine. Sometimes the things that you really want to see change and want to see happen are outside or on the other side of fear, or on the other side of you really making the decision to change your life, because you will continue dreaming to have a different life. But if you don't actually take charge towards changing patterns, habits, and doing things differently, then you will still remain where you were in the previous year. So it's not always about New Year's resolutions not coming true, or just being afraid of them not being coming true because things remain the same. But as much as you pen those things down, as much as you create the vision board, as much as you speak things into existence, you also need to actively make sure that you're doing all the things necessary to make those dreams come true. I hope that you enjoyed this type of content. There's so much content that I've planned for 2023. I just hope that you join me in this journey, and I really, really appreciate you, scribes. And I thank you for sticking with me. For those who have always been there, thank you for sticking with me thus far, even in this new year. I hope that our channel will see some growth. Hope this year is truly nothing but magical and beyond your wildest dreams. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen and bye.